Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to a brand new day of the LG Ultragear Tec Gauntlet Season 2, powered by W Black and AMD Ryzen Radiant. And honestly, at this stage here, ladies and gentlemen, it's the last couple of days of the entirety of the group stages. It's been a long journey, and it's going to be your boy Aggressive and Universe bringing you the last couple of legs of the entirety of the group stages. And honestly, Universe, I'm really excited as we head on over onto today's fixtures. I don't know, man. It kind of makes me emotional as well when you consider how long we've been watching these teams grow throughout this entire tournament. And now seeing them as such here, it just goes to show that they have grown a lot moving on down the line. And now this is their final legs, their final chances to show how much they have grown. And when you consider that FlameX, Serenity, and Enigma are having their last games, where Enigma are for sure going to be qualifying no matter what happens here. FlameX, Serenity, they could just be facing relegation, and there's pretty much nothing that they can do about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that FlameX Serenity are pretty much done and dusted. They're out of this season of the Gauntlet. They don't have a single win. They've had two maps that they've picked up, and as a result, they've got 2 points, which I think we will see soon in the group standings. But yeah, this is a match that I think is pretty much, a little bit more of a standard issue in terms of formality, as to see who's, gonna play better in terms of getting that nothing to lose kind of a meter that's sticking on their head right now. And not to forget, there is a bit of a change that has come in today, Aggressive, and that is on the side of Enigma Gaming. So I'm really interested to see who is it we're gonna be seeing on the server today.
We are going to be talking about the servers, though, ladies and gentlemen. Let's head on over towards the MVP standings and see exactly who's been tearing up the server the most throughout this entirety of the group stage. And let's see who's going to be keeping that number one position, or are we going to be crowning a new number one here today if they're able to show off beautifully. And starting from the very top all the way to the very bottom, it's going to be Knight Rider, being that absolute dark horse that he is, able to just climb out of absolutely nowhere and take the number one position away from SK Rossi, which is very much questionable. And even though Global did play their match previously, they were just not Rossi, sorry, was just not able to take that number one away from Knight Rider. But for now, it's going to be fine and dusted. Knight Rider is going to be holding on to that number one position. Or will it be Raw Fuel being able to get two consecutive MVPs here in both of his matches to snatch it away from Knight Rider? That's going to be the real question here, Universe.
Yeah, it is the question to see whether or not SK Rossi is going to come out on top of Knight Rider or not, because Knight Rider looking pretty good. Their last game, not so much against EXO, I believe that was where they lost a little bit too, carelessly. But that's okay. Knight Rider on his own is still performing at his very best, and we've got SK Rossi right on his tail. SK Wow, however, I think this is probably the end of his journey over here in the MVP standings. He could put on another bit of a performance. I think he's got one match left against Global Esports, but right now it's about that man at the end. Fourth position he's sitting on, Enigma's Rafael. He needs to make a move and he needs to come up on top. I think that he might just challenge SKY for the third spot, and he might take it if he has the best of his games today. So far, so we've seen him that Rafael has he takes games a little bit slow for some reason. He has a very slow start. He goes into the game just, mellowing down, and then he turns up the heat. He comes into his own a little bit later than we would expect it to be, but he does come into it. So I really hope today that it's sooner than later than never, because FlameX Serenity, they have nothing to lose. So that means they're going to be going all out to do whatever they can. This is a match that they're going to be playing to just showcase pretty much at the very corners of the bag where they've got some tricks lying down, something that they thought wouldn't have worked before, but there's no harm or foul in using it right now because, well, whether or not they win this one, it's not going to make a change in their campaign so far.
Yeah, Rabbit Dog does bite hard, especially when he corner them. But at the same time, let's see how cornered both of these teams actually are when it comes down to the standings. So let's head on down over towards the group standings, ladies and gentlemen, and see exactly how the teams are looking when it comes down to the terms of the points. Reckoning being at the very top, not really surprising. They've been the literal underdogs of this entire tournament, and they're going to be the ones to take that number one position and be the top seed here, which was a massive surprise, but at the same time, not really a surprise as well. But at the same time, here, ladies and gentlemen, Enigma being on that number three, now playing for this match, they could easily take this on as a 2-0 and take that number one position away from the side of Reckoning. But down at the bottom, of the barrel, it's going to be FlameX Serenity here, Universe, and not even a single win and 6 losses consecutively, and barely getting 2 points here. Even if they win out 2-0, they're going to be facing relegation regardless.
Yeah, they are going to be facing relegation. It's pretty much done and dusted for them. But Enigma, it's a chance for them to go at the very top. They can go to the first position and take over a Reckoning's spot right now, which, by the way, last season was held by Velocity. And
Yep.
Velocity, they are in a bit of a pickle themselves. They will qualify, that's for sure, but they might end up being in the fourth position if True Rippers, Enigma, and Reckoning all three find their wins in their last match. But hey, right now we got to see how exactly Enigma is going to take on the side of FlameX Serenity because, like we said earlier, there's gonna be a little bit of a change in the roster today, I believe, and yeah, we're gonna have to see if that's gonna settle in. Is there gonna be a bit of a topsy turvy matter? FlameX Serenity throw them off guard just because of a little bit of a roster change because it came pretty quickly, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, let's just see how the teams are going to be playing around one another because with the roster changes, Enigma's playstyle could just completely change in a matter of seconds. But at the same time, it could stay the same as well because we knew Enigma to be a team that really did rely on being a lot more strategic. But will this roster shift actually change the team's dynamic entirely? We're going to be talking about that more later. But at the same time, let's talk a little bit more about the first initial team, ladies and gentlemen, as we head on over towards the Steam spotlight for the side of FlameX Serenity. As we talk through this entire roster here, Universe. And I don't know, man. It felt like this roster, they had so much potential, but seeing them at the bottom of the barrel like this with a 0-6-2 was the biggest surprise throughout this entire tournament.
Yeah, I mean, you can look at this team and you can look that and tell that these are players who've come out of nowhere. They've shown up on the very top and they've, made some pretty good work out of what exactly has happened so far. But, in the qualifiers at least. But here in the TC Gauntlet main event, where the group stages had begun quite a few number of weeks ago, they just couldn't hold on to what they showcased in the qualifiers because clearly this is a whole other league of teams who've been around for quite a while who've shown that they're pretty much the best in the region. So yeah, it has been quite a bit of a journey for FlameX, and it's probably going to be the end as well.
Yeah, FlameX, there's nothing much that they could have done here to try and bring themselves back into this tournament. They just needed one win and would have had a chance to survive and not face relegation and keep their spot for season number 3. But that just won't be possible anymore, especially when you consider them being at 2 points. But ladies and gentlemen, there's not much that he can do here. But in a way, today, if you're able to take down the Juggernauts, you're going to be able to be on the radars of a lot more of these other teams and hopefully come back even stronger for season number 3. But at the same time, let's see who's going to be the strongest coming on down through from the side of FlameX Serenity, ladies and gentlemen, to possibly put a good fight against the side of Enigma as we head on down over towards this player spotlight powered by AMD Ryzen Radiant and see exactly who FlameX Serenity have for us to see. And it's going to be none other than Element. And Universe Element as a player, he's been having a little bit of a slow showing, but at the same time, you can see his consistency on that Astra when it comes down to his controller plays.
Yeah, he has been a little bit more of a
Sleeper.
yeah, I probably yeah. He's had his ups and downs. I believe that he's had a little more downs than he has had the ups. But hey, it's okay. They tried their best to get onto this uh, you know, uh, campaign a little bit more successfully. They would have hoped to at least, but it's just not possible. And probably they are gonna end up this campaign with not a single win under their belt. I really hope that does not happen. They somehow overthrow Enigma today, and we see a FlameX Serenity that we've not seen the entire season. If not at the end, then when else? I would say because well, they got pretty much nothing to lose, and they can I don't know, put in 5 duelists today, put whatever you want, put no duelists today, whatever it is, Flaming Serenity, this is a match to do it.
Yeah, it's just about testing out the waters and possibly throwing out the side of Enigma into a loop, but you never really know just yet. Let's just see what they're going to be planning, but at the same time, we got to see what Enigma are planning as well as we head on down over onto their team intro, ladies and gentlemen, and see exactly what they're going to be cooking up for us when it comes down to the terms of the roster. And I do believe that now that Badman is no longer a part of the roster, it's not going to be showing up here on the team intro. it's gonna be a little bit more difficult when it comes down to the terms of the IGLing for the side of Enigma. Badman used to be one of those players that we always looked up to be one of the backbones of Enigma, and him not being here now, will the team actually crumble when it comes down to the strategy that they're known for? Because Enigma as a team, they were the pioneers of every single new map and every single strategic based, utility based composition, sorry, for the entirety of our region. They were the ones who started it, and every other team just picked it up from them, maybe built it to be even stronger, built it to be even better. But Enigma, they were the starters of it all, and now without Batman, are they going to be able to do the same here? Universe is going to be the biggest question.
Well, we're gonna have to find out because I'm not really sure. This how exactly Batman's going is gonna affect them. Definitely, it is gonna affect them a bit for sure because they've had this style of play that they've been comfortable with for quite a while, and suddenly a player exiting that position and having somebody else in place is gonna throw things in a little bit of a mix. That's for sure. But we're just gonna have to wait and see and count on Enigma and their individual players for them to understand each other because I think that even though Batman has gone and somebody else is filling up the place, I think it's just about a little bit of communication that they need to understand how exactly Batman's role has to be filled. You play that Killjoy, you play that Cipher if needed, you play whatever role you controller if he plays. You need to just fill that role. You need to know what exactly how you fit with the team. Whoever it is playing today, I really hope that they've had a talk with Batman himself to try and understand how exactly he pulls this team together.
Yeah, they need to try and pull off a miracle here if they want to try and go up against the side of FlameX because having even one player change in your roster could just shift the entire dynamic and give even these underdog teams a chance to take you out before you can even think or breathe for even a second. And as we are talking about the players that who are going to be choking each other, let's see who's exactly going to be the biggest one coming on down through from the side of a team Enigma as we head on down over onto their player spotlight powered by AMD Ryzen Radiant. And Universe, in a way, I would say that Raw Fuel, just as I stated previously, he was on the MVP standings and now he's going to be on the player spotlight. Seems like it's his day, especially when you consider him being on that jet, 330 kills, 249 deaths, and 49 assists with an ACS of 280. This guy is the most positive duelist that we have seen on the spotlight up till now.
Yeah, in terms of kills, he definitely is right up on top. But because of his deaths, he's had to slack off a bit on the position wise. He's on the fourth position, but that doesn't discredit him from what he's been doing on the server. He takes his time to settle in, but when Raw Fuel settles in, he can basically just blow you out of the water, blow you out of the surface of the earth, whatever you want to call it. Raw Fuel, he's got the power to do that, and he's got the power to pull out situations where his team cannot see an opening. And that guy has had a rise to fame in a way that it's been pretty amazing to watch this player come out on top of things, play for one of the best teams in the region, and now he's one of the pivotal roles that they depend upon in this team. So Raviol, definitely a player that we're gonna have to look out at today. He's probably gonna be among the top two fraggers in the server. If not, he might just be having a bad day, but I really don't count on him having that because even if he's having a bad day, he's still much better than most players we know.
Yeah, his level of consistency is just a little bit too much for a lot of the other teams to handle, especially when you consider that Raw Fuel, just as you were stating, he has a slow start, but once he does get revved up, he's going to tear you down like a lawnmower piece by piece. He's not going to be even letting a single hair loose coming on down from their end. So, in a way, Raw Fuel, I would say, is the spotlight player for that primary reason. He's one of the players that are going to be causing a lot of the problems on the server. But at the same time, let's see which battlefield has been picked up by the teams here, ladies and gentlemen, as we head on down over to the side of the map veto screen. And when you consider map number one being the pickup of Bind, and that also being picked up by Enigma, that's a massive question mark, Universe, because this map is never picked up by Enigma right at the very beginning. It's always Icebox or Breeze. That's a
Yeah,
massive dynamic shift.
it most certainly is, and I like it. Enigma Gaming are going for something different. They know that this match is a little bit more of a what you would do in terms of having fun. I would say. I really hope they do. But yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see how exactly it turns out. Enigma Gaming definitely have a game plan, and to top it off, FlameX have actually gone for attack on the first half. So it's gonna be interesting. We're gonna have to see how exactly it all turns out. Enigma, as good as they are on any map for that matter that we've seen them be, we really hope that Bind is going to be, a showcase of their skill with this new addition, new part of the roster. And FlameX, they have got Ascent in their way, which is pretty much their, go-to pick, but I'm really not counting on them to put up, too much of a problem to Enigma given their stature in the tournament so far. So, yeah, FlameX, if there's one chance they can win something, I really think it's on the attack side of Bind because that's exactly where they need to hit Enigma the most. And if they do it, then they're going to be good.
It's going to be a difficult one to say the very least of how FlameX are going to be approaching Enigma. Are they going to be able to go up against the normal Viper and Omen or Brimstone based strategies that Enigma could just employ here? Or are Enigma not even going to be employing the Viper? Because I still remember that Batman was a primary player who used the Viper on Bind, on Icebox, on Breeze. And now that he's not here, will his replacement be able to do the same? Is going to be the real question in the exact same form. Or will Enigma just abandon the strategy entirely, try something a little bit more different? You see exactly how they're going to be playing a lot of those different lines here. So, in a way, it's a massive question of how Enigma are going to be playing. And in a way, it's also a good thing because Enigma literally means the unknown. So, the team is going to be pulling off something unknown as well when it comes down to the servers. We don't really know just yet. The match is getting ready up, ladies and gentlemen. Teams are getting prepped up as well and getting warmed up in the process. And before we do head on down over towards the agent selection screen, which has already been prepped up and ready, just as I called it. So let's head on down over to the agent selection screen, ladies and gentlemen, and see exactly what the players are going to be picking up for us here, starting off from the very top and all the way up to the very bottom. And now the primary thing that I really want to see here, Universe, is the controller pickups. Are they going to be going in for the standardized Astra single controller Astra, or are they going to be going in for the Brimstone Viper? Because as you can see, High on Life is going to be the replacement for Batman in this situation.
Yeah, it looks like it, and we're gonna see Astra
Yoru.
come in. Yeah, Yoru, Falconer, do you want to go for that? I'm not quite sure, but I would be interested to see him go for that. There's 4 duelists being shown yet. Now they're gonna go away from it. As the Astra has been selected and the Raze on the side of Enigma, we got Hika on what he loves to play the most on this map of Bind. We got Raw Fuel as a second duelist with that Jet. And High on Fleek Life is probably going to be taking in that Killjoy as the Sentinel role. On the other side of things, we got a Brimstone, so it's going to be a difference in the controller. There's going to be a difference in the Sentinel as well. And the remaining 3 are going to remain the same as we've got a Jet, Sova, and a Raze on the server. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be a lot of interesting plays over here regarding the controller and the Sentinel because of the fact that an Astra has a lot more, skill set in terms of variability in, the utility that she uses. But Brimstone is more of a damaging controller than Astra is because of the Molotov and the Orbital Strike. And not to forget that his smokes, he's got 3 of them. Astra also at a time can put down only 3 or 2 smokes at a time. While she has 5-star that she can use again. But for her smokes to come back as a utility piece is going to take a couple of seconds, which I think is almost 40. So, yeah, let's see how it all works out as we are going to be jumping right into the game, ladies and gentlemen, and see how exactly Enigma are going to be moving and taking down the side of FlameX Serenity, who are on attack. So, yeah, it is definitely a matter that we're going to have to see in a situation where nobody has anything to lose, and they're going straight up for all of the glory.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be letting off for even a second here, especially when you consider how these teams have prepped up for one another. And as you were highlighting previously, the main differences between the controllers. In a way, I would say the Astra allows you to be a lot more diverse and a lot more adaptable to a lot of the different situations that could be highlighted during the entire matchup, while the Brimstone is a little bit more one-dimensional and you need to be much more reactive with him in comparison to the Astra, which is much more of being proactive, because understanding when to place your swords is a very crucial thing. So, in a way, that could work out, or it could just be really bad, and Yuli gets caught out, and Yuli gets killed by Kinga! With the spam, is gonna be able to take out 2 players. God Vexy just walks in through a smoke, takes out the 1 player, Reaper on the back, and is like, oh, hello there, God Vexy. I think you forgot about me. He's the last player remaining, and the round just started, and it's already done and dusted. Kinga! He just hit legs that are absolutely nasty. Crisp, clean Lakhs coming on down from this map. And to start it all off, Enigma They take a very convincing pistol round for themselves.
Yeah, it was a pretty convincing round. Hika, even though that he was trying to bait out for Raw Fuel over there, and Raw Fuel took half HP of damage from that nade that came in and dashed away. Hika took matters into his own hands and found a double easy kill with that ghost that he was holding. And yeah, pretty great. Pretty good
Yeah.
round, indeed. And now that we're moving in ahead, there's a buy round that comes in for Enigma pretty easily. Hika going on another rampage is going to eat a lot of bullets. Throws in the grenade for safety and gets back onto the B side as he knows that he cannot take these fights head on anymore with that amount of life hanging on his shoulders. Raw Fuel is here to support him as God Vexy actually gives away his life. And Reaper, he's one bullet down probably, and there it is. Hika. It doesn't even matter that he's on 20 HP. It's gonna be a 4K for him, and he's got his ultimate online, I believe. He's one orb away. He's one orb away.
Yeah, Ray's ult. Yeah, that's actually a Ray's ultimate, ladies and gentlemen. You need to remember, Ray's ult costs 8 points, and 8 points is a lot, especially when you consider it being on a raise. He needs to get a lot of value out of that ultimate, but at the same time, Raw Fuel, it's getting a little bit spicy with it, picking it up and operating for himself. On round number 2, yeah, Raw Fuel, this could just make it or break it for your entire team if you're not careful here about that.
Most certainly. Raw Fuel with the operator goes in for a straight up delete in the second round, the third round itself. He does not want to be taking chances. He wants to get this done with as soon as possible. As Hika, this time though, he's not going to be successful in getting any sort of multi-kills, let alone be a single kill. As FlameX Serenity have taken on the B side, and they got a pretty convincing way to do it as well. Ezzy around the corner, he's going to put down that star and try to find somebody in that cubby corner, but nobody's going to be coming out because Water was holding on to his ground. He was holding on to that wall for dear life. He said, "No, don't let me go." And,
yeah, that wall is my only friend.
He survived somehow, and it's going to be Enigma Gaming to give away the bonus round, but they're not going to be any bit sad about it because, well, it was a bonus, and now they still have money to buy in. You can see God Vexy's a little skeptical on that. He's got a Bulldog, whereas Raw Fuel is going to be playing just on a Marshall. So it's not exactly the buy that they would want, and they also given away the operator to the hands of Reaper.
Yeah.
So we're going to see how exactly it turns out because FlameX, they're again putting pressure on B.
Oh, this! Ooh, this is Raw Fuel for you, baby! He's got a swing corner! He's gonna take down 2! Who needs an operator when you got a Marshall in your hand? Raw Fuel with his third! That's how dangerous Raw Fuel is, ladies and gentlemen! He's just gonna be popping heads, he's gonna be popping bodies, and he just does not care!
No. Raw Fuel, no. That, no.
Yes.
Oh my god, Enigma, get out of here. What was that? Raw Fuel, that third kill was utterly insane. What the hell is this guy on? I mean, just look at... Yeah, I mean, the smoke went down. He didn't even need a vision of... You know, he said, okay, you know what? There's a smoke in between. I saw you for 1 second. That's all I need. I just need to look at you for literally 1 second, and he blows him away. And now the operator that he gave away, he's done rightfully a good job to get it back into his own hands and tell his team, don't worry guys, I got it handled.
Yeah, Raw feels like, okay, I know for a fact I gave away the operator. Don't really worry about it. I'll just bring it back in the next round by getting a clean tap on the guy who was using the operator in the previous round by white swinging him so hard that he's not even going to be prepared. Honestly, I feel bad for Reaper, man. Reaper just didn't expect it, but at the same time, Raw Fuel, he's getting ramped up really quickly. I think he heard you, Universe. He was like, did you say that I have a slow start at the very beginning? I'm gonna make sure that you see how good I can be when I have a really good start at the start. It's gonna be a leg shot coming on down through from the side of Raw Fuel. He's not been missing a single bullet here, Universe. He's been able to hit everything. And see on the back end corner, he's gonna be able to take down Falconizer and Raw Fuel. He's hunting for some more, and he's gonna be good for 1, and he's actually gonna be good for 2, but he only has 3 bullets. He needs to be very careful. High on life is just around the corner. It's gonna be able to take him on down. Out, but Raw Fuel, a little bit too overly aggressive, gets caught out. And he gets killed as well in the process. Reaper, though, he's only on 30 HP. 1 Phantom shot and 1 Vandal shot is more than enough to kill him.
Yeah, and probably high on flea life is gonna give that to him.
3 bullets?
1 bullet. Oh no! He missed all of. Okay, never mind. That's okay. Happens to the best
30
of us, I
seconds
guess. But Reaper, now he's pulled out a chance for himself to get this round. But what he doesn't know is that God Vexy's got the jump on him, and the second he goes for that plant, it's gonna be it. There it is. The backstab's coming in just about a second. God Vexy is gonna pull him out of this server for this round. Picks up the operator for raw fuel, and he is gonna scan himself, defusing that spike.
You gotta end it off in style. That's the God Vexy thing. This guy's like, you know, that chill type of person. He's a calm, collected guy, just chilling around in the back, waiting for his teammates to just give away the round from time to time. And you know, he's gonna clutch it all up at the very end. A really expensive round though, to say the very least here, Universe. They could have played it a little bit better, but at the same time, hey, their spirits are high. They're gonna be able to do pretty much everything. And High on Life, he was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go in for it. 3 bullets in a dream, my man. And sadly, when you have a dot crosshair, sometimes hitting those 3 bullets can be.
I mean, I would disagree. I love the dot crosshair. I use the
It's
dot
so
crosshair.
small, dude. It's not
No,
a 1 and
it's
2.
perfect.
It's not a 1 and 2 dot. It's actually a 1 and 1 dot. That's why I'm saying it's too small.
Still perfect though. Right now, what needs to be perfect is the push of FlameX Serenity, which so far has not really been that great. High on Life takes out one, and now Reaper trying to make his way into the U-Haul is gonna find actually a successful shot. Hika's head completely derailed from his body as FlameX and an Eco are causing a little bit of damage, but not too much. High on Life finds another one. That's the second of the round for him, as Falcon is left all alone, caring about an angle that nobody's approaching him from. And there's someone coming in from the front. It's Ezzy, pulls out the third. That's going to be Enigma on 5, and they're steamrolling at this point.
Yeah, Enigma, they're just like, let's just get this over with. We just want to rush it down through and bind. Being a map where they were known to be a lot more control heavy, a lot more tactical, and a lot more systematic, it feels as though they have they've literally put caution onto the winds and they're just gonna go for it. They're just swinging corners and they don't give a damn of what's gonna be happening here. No form of respect being shown is a good thing, but at the same time, it could just backfire in a matter of seconds if they're not careful, especially when your opponent team, are slowly but surely adapting to a lot of the strategies that you're trying to employ. Ezzy playing it a little bit more aggressively and in the back end, it's gonna be High on Life getting caught out by the Owl Drone. That Owl Drone could just cause a lot of problems. The Ultragear is gonna be popped, and Ezzy's actually getting good for 1 kill, even though 5 players are rushing him down. Reaper gets caught out in the worst possible situation, but Hika also whips his entire spray. Shots are just not going to be connecting, but God, Nexi and Ezzy, they're going to try and bring everything back onto their favor. Shomalot's going to be the one to take down Raw Fuel. He had a Sheriff in his hands. He's going to be able to find that shot, though. But now, it's all up to the Raze and the Sova to try and clutch this one out. But at the same time, look at Godvex. Side of the Yuka could just get caught out here. God Vexy, it's all up to him. If he dies here, it's already done and dusted, but it's God Vexy. He just never gonna die. Look at that precision, look at that aim, and look at that crosshair placement, Universe. When you think about precision, you gotta think about God Vex.
Yeah, and you also gotta think about the fact that God Vexy, he really has the perfect idea as to where exactly these players are gonna be popping up. They could have gone back to A, and he just ran into the perfect time. And not to forget, Aggressive, you talk about dot crosshair. Did you see what God Vexy had?
He has a 1 and 2 dot. He doesn't have a 1 and 1 dot.
It's a dot crosshair.
Okay, fine. I'll give you this point. I'll give you a brownie point. But at the same time, look at Raw Fuel, man. This guy is getting even more brownie points. It swings around a corner from the side of Hookah. Who does that? That guy is absolutely mad and he has way too much confidence. Raw Fuel, just stop. They have families, man. You can't destroy them like that. I understand it's an eco round. I understand you have a lot of confidence in you. But you could just get popped in the head from a Sheriff and you're not going to be coming back from that anytime soon.
Yeah, right now, Raw Fuel is at the top of his game, while FXS are kind of lacking back, but Falcon makes me eat up my words as Raw Fuel has been taken down, and now they have an opening, but Hika, he's just shutting them down one after the other. Another player goes down from the side of FlameX Serenity. Water, he's also been discovered. They know that he's right around this nebula. And he's eating a lot of spam bullets, which are not exactly touching him, but
Last player standing.
Oh,
because
that's actually smart.
weapon. Yeah, that is pretty smart. The bait and switch is perfect. Falcon, as many kills as you can get, my friend. Then, oh,
30
there's
seconds.
always gonna be somebody else to come and shut you down. High on life almost went down himself while taking out Falcon. He thought that one bullet was all it's gonna be, but my friend, you're holding a Phantom. It's never gonna be enough. It's never gonna be enough. Never. That's why I always prefer the Phantom Vandal.
The Vandal is a really good weapon, but at the same time, like the Phantom is like that first love that
No.
you just can't really let go. No, come on, Universe, come on.
You know,
Come on,
actually,
okay.
actually, the first weapon that I used in Valorant was actually the Odin. So my first love was actually Odin. So
I'm afraid of what's gonna happen when you start playing Sova. I know you're primarily much more of a Jet player, but if you start playing Sova, I don't really want to know what's gonna happen then if your first love is the Odin.
I mean, right now we need to find out where exactly the love of FlameX resides, because they're hitting A again. And Rawfuel, look at this guy. He's not afraid. Okay, he dashes back, but he dashes
Spike
to
down
safety. But not for too long, I believe. He okay, he still gets
What?
kills. Somebody
Hello?
stop this man. Okay, yeah, that's enough. Rawfuel, that's enough.
Get him out of here, get him out of here. Actually, just pull him out of the server right now and disconnect him. Because that is a little bit too illegal, but at the same time, Reaper, you should go for one more.
Okay.
But yeah, Rafuel's just a little bit better.
We know that you are feeling the heat today, or you are giving the heat out today, but wow, dude, what the hell is that? Both the Jets are whipping it up in their respective teams, but one is more so whipping it out than the other just because of the fact that they've got 7 rounds on the board. 8 rounds, sorry. As Rawfield is on 14-4 and Reaper is on 11-8. So you can see how exactly the Jet supremacy is coming on. There's not really much of a diff, but if there was, I think Rawfuel has shown that he's at the moment a little bit more useful, because FlameX as a team are struggling.
Oh, Rafuel finally gets taken out in the process here. Jungwon's gonna be the one to take him on down out for water. Gets caught out in the worst possible position, and Hika's movement is just a little bit too good. He's gonna be able to take down 2 players. No one's gonna be able to trade him. Andy, last player remaining. He doesn't know where to go. There's someone on his back. There's someone on his front. Where does he turn? Where does he hide? He has nowhere to go. It's gonna be Hika, gonna be the person who sends him to his grave. 9-1 on the scorecards here, ladies and gentlemen. And honestly, Enigma, they're literally slaughtering them like as if they're lambs. That Rawfuel just left the operator on spawn and he's walking away with a new one. He's like, nah, this is too old school. I don't care about this operator. It's so last round that I don't need it.
Yeah, I mean,
It's feeling lonely, man. It's feeling lonely.
Yeah, he gets the idea of it, I guess. He doesn't need an operator, but what? Oh, he's got the knives. Okay, oh, he does not even care about the... Okay,
okay.
It's a little bit overstretching it. I know that you're getting a little enthusiastic, but that's not the way to do it, my friend. FlameX will punish you for that, and you did get punished. And now got Vexy trying to hold off a push, while on the other side of things, there's an ultimate coming in that did not affect anybody. Stormalal finds Hika. Reaper finds got Vexy as he was caught out in the B long position, trying to find somebody to come in from that long position, but he had a bullet come in the back of his head. As now in a 2v4, Enigma Gaming have got only Ezzy and High on Life to fight it out. And it looks like this penultimate round is probably going to go to the hands of FlameX Serenity, as we might just see a 9-2. Yeah, it is going to be 9-2 over here. High on Life going to go down. That lockdown is going to be of no use, as FlameX finally respond after a long interval.
Yeah, FlameX, it took them a really long time to try and finally break onto the scoreboard once again. But hey, in a way, this could just be the breath of fresh air that they needed. But at the same time, it could just be a round that they got out of pity as well, because Rawfuel making a very over-aggressive push like that, especially when he had an operator just lying down and spawn, feeding on lonely. Just like me after a long day of work with no one to talk to. Cough, cough, assassin leaving me all sudden.
You got me to talk to.
I know,
Right
but
now.
You are more engrossed into your rank games and also your girlfriend, guys.
Strike down.
Right now, I think Enigma have something to talk about because they are just telling the side of FlameX, you got one round, but you're not gonna get any more, and they're showing it, talking about it through their bullets. As Raw Fuel is on a roll of probably a lifetime. He's just getting kill after kill after kill, and in just the first half, the man's put up 16 kills on the board.
Honestly speaking, Universe, in a way, I wouldn't say that FlameX Serenity are playing it very badly. They're trying to play for defaults, they're trying to play for picks, but it feels like the side of Enigma, they're just having it really good today. They're not missing a single shot. The stars are aligning for them. They're just swinging corners. They're able to hit everything. The reaction speed is faster. What do you do in these type of situations? There's not much that you can do in general. I'm trying to figure out a strategy where the side of Flame Serenity could just win out here, but their composition doesn't really allow for a lot of control. They have a very standard mine composition, while for the side of Enigma, they not only have a slight compositional advantage, they have a much more of a confidence advantage, allowing them to pull off plays like this. It's not really a skill diff. It's literally a confidence diff coming on down through from the side of Enigma. Like, look at this.
God.
The stars are aligning for them, man. Nothing more to say here.
Oh, Somalal, he eats that grenade. Hika, such a perfectly placed grenade. And now Rafuel wants a lot more. Look at this guy. Like you said, confidence diff indeed. They don't even care. They're just running into the faces and they want to get this done with as soon as possible. I mean, I don't even think it's been what? 25 minutes, 20 minutes since we started this game?
I think it's barely 15. It feels like 15.
Yeah, but 11-2 is the scoreline. 20 minutes probably at the very max, as I've heard from my producer. And yeah, it's 11-2 already. I did not expect this. I mean, we knew that Enigma Gaming would definitely have a much more of a dominating performance than FlameX, but this is a little too much, given the fact that they are pushing in like absolutely crazy pounds and they just want everything to themselves. Oh my god. Rafuel, he survives that somehow as the rest of the team comes on behind him. Hika finds Andy and Water is surviving with 49 HP. Somalal's was detected and Rafuel does not care about distance. He cares about kills. What is happening?
She's a different animal, man. She's a literal animal in this game. Like, what are they doing? Hika and Rafuel, what are they up to here? Ladies and gentlemen, they just are mowing down their opposition before they can even breathe. It's like, okay, they're entering the A side, guys. Guys, they're entering the A side. They're already in our spawn. And the B guys are just rotating. They're exiting out into the spawn doors. And the entirety of Enigma already have taken over the A side, and they're now pushing spawn side as well. My brain does not compute.
It most certainly doesn't, and neither does mine, to be honest. As now match point, and pretty much I think the end of what we see as FlameX Serenity standing on the map of Bind. I thought they would have a little bit of a easy time, but they don't. Falcon! What is Rafuel doing? Rafuel! What the hell are you doing? He did not care. He just ran straight.
Blocking vision.
Oh my god. I need a minute to process all this. Enigma Gaming are clearly out and out about their wits, and especially Rafuel. That he just ran straight from Hookah to the defending side spawn. And now Enigma have got the control that they need. High on Life gets another, and probably the end of this game. As there it is, ladies and gentlemen, Enigma with a computable win over here. They have taken down the side of FlameX Serenity in probably the most comical manner at the very end. With
Rafuel just walking into spawn.
I really want to just ask Rafuel, what the hell did he eat today? What is running through his mind? What is he doing? That last round, he didn't care if somebody was on site. He just straight ran past
Yeah.
everybody and went
He
straight
got
to
caught
it.
by a tripwire, by the way. He
He
got caught
got
by a
caught by a
trip.
tripwire and he went straight through it. He didn't care. And he went to the defender side spawn and he's got three players in front of him, like, oh. I almost teared up laughing at that.
Yes.
So Rafael,
Yeah.
thank you for as entertaining as you could make it be, but FlameX Serenity definitely had a taste of a medicine that they found to be too bitter, or probably they're laughing themselves thinking about what just happened.
Yeah, they just saw a random raw fuel just walk in front of it, and Falcon's like, "Raw fuel, look at me! Look at me! Don't ignore me! I'm a cipher inside of the B side. Why are you just walking away from me? That should not be the case here. My brain, like, I have no idea what happened during the last couple of rounds. Raw fuel just did not care what was happening, and hey, if he was having fun here, ladies and gentlemen, we were having fun in the process as well. And I can't stop my
Yeah.
laughter for that very reason because Raw fuel. He was just pulling off plays that you wouldn't really expect. It felt as though I was watching Assassin when we were playing a couple of our games, and Assassin just literally walked past the killjoy, walked past the cipher, and literally went into the spawn and then died to another person who was holding a down from spawn. It just reminded me of those moments. It's one of those moments that we see in a couple of our ranked games as well. Our friends just completely fooling around. But hey, in a way, if Enigma are able to showcase such a dominant performance here, as we head on down over on towards the match highlights to try and break things down from bird's eye view, it's not really a bad thing. Like they're able to play their cards properly. They were able to do what they do best. So moving on down the line here, ladies and gentlemen, as we do head on down over towards the match highlights, let's just see exactly what went wrong for the side of FlameX Serenity, but what went right for the side of Enigma as well. Yes, in a way, this was much more of a mechanical dominance coming on down through from the side of Enigma. They were just rushing down the lines. They were not really holding down the forts as much as they would have expected. But in a way, this was just a confidence difference. I wouldn't say that Flame Externity, they were having a bad game when it came down to the terms of their aim. I wouldn't say that whatsoever. They were hitting a lot of good shots. They were able to be clean as well. But the confidence factor and the team play coordination was not there. And in a way, how much team play coordination can you show when your opposition is just so organized? When they have so much raw aim in their favor, when they're just rushing you down before you can even breathe, they're choking you and you're feeling claustrophobic here. Enigma, they just took over the entire map all by themselves, and that's one of the primary reasons why I feel as the Flame Externity, they just fell a lot short here. They were just not able to understand how Enigma were playing because sometimes Universe, when it comes down to these high caliber games, when your opponent is very unpredictable, when you don't know what to expect coming on down from them, when they're just playing so incredibly unorganized in a way, what do? There's not much that you can do, especially when Raw Fuel goes inside of a teleporter, peeks out, kills one person, and then immediately re-swings to kill another. Yeah, that's an
Yeah.
operator player, by the way.
Yeah, that is an operator player, and you really couldn't throw him off even if you wanted to. That's the thing, right? Because that's just how good Rafael is. And you know what? The thing about this is we saw Rafael completely going ham, but the thing that we didn't notice is that Hiccup pretty much had the same kills as he did. And
Yeah.
I with the flare that Rafael was fragging out, the thing about that is that we could not even notice because Hika he got 18 himself. He's actually it's Hika who's on top of the board and Rafael's below him. I think that was probably because a little bit of an aggressive play that came in from Rafael at times. And we're gonna just have a look at the scoreboard as it's gonna be popping up anytime on our screens, and just to have a look at how exactly Enigma have all of their players have performed, but aggressive overall. I think that FlameX, as much as they tried, like you said, they went for their defaults. They did a lot of different things right. It just wasn't enough. And there it is. You can see it. Hika, he just edges over Rafael with a 337 ACS. And
Yeah.
wow. You know what? I don't even think High on Life even saw any players. He got I mean, we know he got a 2K in one round and then he got one on kills every here and there, but the way that
He had a chill
Hika
game.
and the way that Hika and Raw Fuel were fragging, I mean, there's nothing much I could say, or probably anybody could say about these guys. And on the other side of things, you can see that Reaper is the only one above 10, while the rest of them haven't even got above 5. And honestly, that's a little disheartening to see, isn't it?
Yeah, Reaper was able to do a lot when it came down to his team to try and clutch out a couple of rounds. But right at the very end, the pressure was just a little bit too much. And I don't blame any of these players. They just didn't understand what was happening throughout the entire game. Sometimes when we are in our own ranked games, when the opponent team is very rush heavy, they're a lot more aggressive and they just build up the momentum, the snowball effect is just going to continue. And it's going to overwhelm you in a matter of seconds, and you don't really know how to go up against it. The thing that the side of FlameX Serenity could have done in this situation was just to take a pause, maybe take a tactical pause here and there in the middle, maybe on that 8th round, maybe on that 6th round, to try and stop the momentum from the side of Enigma. But they didn't even take a single pause here, Universe. They needed to take that to try and reset themselves and also reset Enigma to make them slow down just a tiny little bit. And maybe that would have been the catalyst for a lot of the rounds for FlameX Serenity. There were a lot of different things that they could have done to maybe shut down Enigma's confidence, but they didn't really employ many of it. And when it came down to the terms of the composition as well, they just fell a little bit too short because a Brimstone just by himself is just not enough control to shut down a team of Enigma's caliber. And they felt the pressure here when it came down over onto this map. The map of Bind was just not something that you would have expected. You expected a lot more coming on down through from the side of FlameX Serenity. But at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, it was just map number 1. If Enigma are able to perform just like this when it comes to map number 2, I don't know what to expect, because map number 2 is going to be the pickup from the side of FlameX Serenity. That being Ascent, a map where rushes are even more deadlier when you consider the map of Bind being the first initial one. So Ascent, a map where it's mainly based upon aim, and after seeing the aim from the side of Raw Fuel and Hika, yeah, I don't know what to expect here. We're going to be seeing a lot more comical plays, or are we going to be seeing something a little bit more different? We don't know. But for now, we're going to be heading on down over into a short break, as we are going to be setting everything up, and we're going to be back with the LG Ultragear TEC Gauntlet Season 2, powered by WD Black and AMD Ryzen Radiant, in just a little bit. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the LG Ultragear TC Gauntlet Season 2, powered by W Black and AMD Ryzen Radiant. As we are back once again with map number 2 here, Universe. And after map number 1, I don't really know what to expect. 13-2 on the scoreline. Yes, FlameX Serenity, they tried their hardest to try and counteract the side of Enigma, but the level of confidence and the amount of aim game that was brimming for them was just a little bit too much for FlameX Serenity to handle. Map number 1 was a little low over coming on down from their side. And in a way, it's kind of expected. This was the home pick coming on down through from the side of Enigma. There's not much that they could have done there. But now that it's the map of Ascent, you'd expect them to try and win this map out of the bare minimum. It's not going to be an easy feat. But at the same time, if FlameX Serenity, they want to have a chance of winning out here, they need to perform to their heart's content right here and right now.
Yeah, you are right. It is going to be very difficult for them, but you know, with the way that Enigma have got their momentum, even though they don't have Batman, they still have somebody who's supporting them pretty well. And while the rest of the players who have been for quite a while over here are doing the heavy lifting, Raw Fuel and Hika in particular, supported by Ezzy right on the back of it, and not to forget God Vexy with the information. And now Ascent is another map where we're going to see probably an Enigma domination come in, or FlameX, I really hope that they have something in their bag right now. You know, I don't know. You want to play a Yoru, go ahead, play a Yoru. You want to play a Breach, go ahead, throw in the Breach. You want to put a Killjoy or you want to put a KO on there, go ahead. Get all three of them on the same lineup, go ahead, do that. This is the map to do it. You are not going to have another chance. This is your last map, probably, of your last match in the TC Gauntlet. This is where you throw it all down. Go ahead, 5 duelists, whatever it is. Let's have a look at it. Agent selection coming up right now, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if FlameX or anything they're going to surprise us. I really hope that, even if they pick out something that's normal, I really hope that, you know, they just kind of have something different to offer this time. High on Life wanted to play that Jet, but Raw says no. As the side of FlameX, and we already got their 2 duelists locked in, and it looks like they're gonna be going for a pretty default lineup over here, Aggressive. And I mean, whatever it is that they're planning and they've got this lineup on the back of it, I really hope that they've got a game plan to try and surprise Enigma, because so far, they really haven't been surprised.
Organizer is going to be the one to switch over towards the Rays. And this composition, it feels like I'm going back in time. I stepped into a time machine and went back to the stage where we were still seeing this composition back in the Challenger series. This was such a common composition to play on Ascent. Initially, I didn't really like it a lot, but it kind of grew on me. It gives me that feeling of nostalgia when Omen still had 2 smokes. You didn't need to buy it. Omen's Paranoia costed like, what, 200 credits, and you could just burn it every single round and get away with it no matter what happens. And now, when I look at this composition, I'm like, this composition is a little bit too expensive to work properly on the map of Ascent. The ultimates are just not going to be online as often. The Jet's going to need...
It looks like my friend Aggressive has had a little bit of a tech issue, and we're going to be going into the game with Hika choosing up that Phoenix, and we got Rafael with that Jet. So it is going to be one duelist that's going to be a difference on one side, on both sides. It is a Phoenix against a Raze, and that flash item that comes with Phoenix is probably going to be a little bit of a problem when they want to peek out close angles. But not to forget, the Raze has explosive qualities, and explosive qualities means kills. And it could be anything for that matter. It could be a grenade kill, it could be a satchel kill, hell, it could be a boombot, or even the ultimate, obviously, a kill. So we're gonna see how it all turns out as we jump into the game straight away, ladies and gentlemen. No more delays. We got Enigma trying to 2-0 this little bad boy, as we got FlameX trying to maybe make a comeback and get a win that I'm pretty sure they're going to take away from this season, if not anything else.
Now, besides Enigma being at the advantage here, 1-0. To start everything off here and right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's gonna be a little bit of a question mark of how they're gonna be playing if we go down the line. It's gonna be interesting though, to say the very least.
Killed my bot.
It is going to be interesting.
But I think that Hika, yeah, he's just gonna go for it. Started off on a good note.
He just swings out, puts the flash, swings out, takes beam in control. Pretty much like an everyday standard issue. Raw fuel yet again popping heads. One more? No. It's not going to be the case. The shock dart almost eats him. As high on life actually gets a kill onto the short player. Reaper goes down. Andy, he does find raw fuel, but God Vex, he's going to be quick on the trade. Now Falcon left all alone. 1v4. Hika right on his back. He's having a feel of it. He hears him coming, but it doesn't even matter because Hika's aim is just too crispy right now for anybody to challenge him. And especially with that Phoenix, it's a lot more dangerous because you always have that potential of being blinded until your eyeballs are burnt, given the fact that Phoenix actually is a flame character. So FlameX, they need to be careful because the first part of their name might actually come and hit them with the hands of Hika.
Yeah, at least it's not a breach. Because if it was a breach, I wouldn't have my eyes burned out. Instead, I would be clawing my eyes out instead, just to try and get away from the flashes. Hey, you wouldn't need to dodge the flashes if that was the case now, would you? So in a way, let's just see what to expect here. And Raw Fuel, yeah, he's just gonna go for it. And oh no, Raw Fuel just dead. Just died. Nope, he's still alive. Oh no, never mind, I spoke too soon. He's gonna die out. But at the same time, hey, Hika's gonna be right around the corner to get the revenge kill. He knows for a fact that Shomal also right around the corner. He's gonna swing it out, maybe get that first initial kill, and it's gonna be a pretty crispy Shomal in the background. There's nothing much that he could have done there, and Reaper, he picks up that Marshall, but hey, it's just not gonna be working out for him. He can get taken down as well by Falconizer, but right at the very end, it's gonna be God Vex to come in around the corner to get the revenge kill for his buddy. To close everything out and send everyone back home. Enigma, they started off on the right foot, and both of these rounds are over in like what, 5 minutes? Maybe
less than 5. Yeah, 3 minutes I think would be the right number. And we're gonna see FlameX now come up with their buyer on aggressive, and this is gonna be a little bit more of a problem for Enigma to handle. Not that it was in the previous match where they did give away. This was the only round they gave away until that second round came up. You know, in the early stages of the first half, but right now it looks like Reaper, he wants it back and he wants to add on more to that. Hika eats a little bit of damage, tries to heal himself at the back of it. He has his ultimate, and there it is. It's gonna be popped. He's gonna eat it, and he somehow survives that nano swarm around the edges. 4 players of Enigma right up in the middle over here. Hika's gonna find one, but Andy the quick to trade it off. As they've taken control of the B side over here, FlameX, but they've got Enigma coming in. Raw Fuel blows the head of water, and now he's trying to contest Reaper in here, takes him out, and Enigma have control that FX never thought they would get after those first initial kills came out. Now there's another kill coming in, and he gets a third, and now Enigma have been punished for what they thought was going to be a good aggressive push.
Well then, side of Enigma getting a little bit too overzealous with their positions. They do get caught out and they do get punished heavily for it. Finally, it seems as though the side of FlameX Serenity, a flame has been lit inside of them, and they're slowly but surely making it all happen for their side. They need to go in for the plan though, and this is a very clutchable round. You do need to remember Universe, because Andy, he's at 11 HP. He can die to literally anything if he's not careful, and he needs to get into a proper position really quickly. He needs to take a gunfight though, because he has no form of utility. The recon mode is still going to be coming up down through soon enough. But Falconizer, this is a very good position that he's trying to hold. If he's able to hold this position of Under Heaven beautifully with the crossfire being set up with Andy, this is a very easy round. There's no way that they should lose this here. No way that they should find pretty much anything. Thankfully, Falconizer is going to be the one to swing around the corner and get a beautiful headshot down over towards the side of Ezzy, taking him out. And with that, that's going to be the first round on the board, ladies and gentlemen, for the side of FlameX Serenity. First round of many, hopefully, moving on down the line, because they need to try and go in for something incredible. Because after what happened in the first initial map, they need to go big or they're going to be sent home attacking.
Oh, yeah. Now it is the weapon I love the most coming out of the hands of God Rexy. And he's got it on target towards B. But nobody there to receive it, unfortunately. Yeah, there's gonna be nobody detected from that. But raw fuel, couple of seconds, he might just find somebody. He's getting a little too aggressive. And he eats a bullet at the back. But he's gonna survive somehow as he finds Reaper through the smoke. Has Enigma have control and man advantage right now. Even though the side has been given away, it doesn't matter because Rafiel, he's gonna take care of the backstab. Somula completely denied. Water and Falconizer actually fine too.
Wait, is he running and gunning? He actually got a kill?
Yeah, he did. Okay. Got Vexy. Alright, okay. That Odin, as powerful as it is, Enigma are back on track as to what they were doing in map number 1. Complete and utter domination in terms of aggression. They don't care about position. Like you saw even that mid push, right? Raw Fuel, he came straight through mid. He did not even check B-Link. He just went up there, updrafted, went towards that A-short position. And then when he hit a couple of bullets to his back, then he became a little cautious. So it's a little reckless by Enigma Gaming over here. They need to be a little more cautious because if they're not, then there's going to be avenues that the side of FlameX can open up. And that's not something that they would want.
Yeah, at this point, it's just about KWD and raw fuels. He's been running and gunning. He's been swinging around corners. What more can you do here? And raw fuel has movement, and his swings are just a little bit too fast. It feels like the opposition, they don't even know what to expect. Raw fuel's just dinking heads like it's nobody's business here. He's feeling himself. Just doesn't really care. He's going in for it, and now it's gonna be water. Slowly but surely pushing around the corner, and as he just knows exactly where he is, he wants to go in for that swing, but he expects water to play it a little bit more slowly. He's not going to be able to find that kill, but at the same time, they're just not in a position to go around to the corner and go in for that swing. And Hika just beautiful tap coming on down thrown towards the side of Vanguard. Look at Rawfield, man. He just played mind games. He just went in front of water, literally floated up in the air like a butterfly, landed down and stung like a bee straight on his forehead with that bullet. 4-1 on the scorecards for the side of Enigma. And Rafiel, he just dropped his guard and picked up a stinger because he has an ultimate in his hand, yes, but when he does have an ultimate, I get a little bit of anxiety here, Universe, because yeah, you saw what happened in the last round, right?
Yep. Most certainly did. And now Enigma have got the advantage of rounds as well. 4-1, and exactly what it was in the last map. And Rawfield this time, he's popped his ultimate. He's going in deep, and he's gonna find one head. I don't know what exactly Water was thinking, that nobody would try to push in, but he actually, you know, fair of him to not expect anybody push through a smoke, and Rawfield's just that madman who would, and he got that kill. Immediately traded out though, has got Vexy with that beautiful weapon. Odin is trying to find some success across a wall, but he's not gonna find anything. And now the ultimate from this guy right here is going to be coming down. Go on, Somula, put it down and give the side of Enigma something to think about. Reaper has been spotted out towards A. There's going to be a fake that has been sold that Enigma